Today, we officially got our confirmation for Pokemon Generation 10. Pokemon Winds and Waves, the thing that got leaked already previously beforehand, is now official. I gotta be honest, the entire Pokemon Presents showcase I think could have been a lot more. I felt like it was a lot of rehashing of things we kinda already knew, and it was just a lot of the mobile stuff, which is occasionally what we should be expecting at these. But I was expecting a little other surprise reveal outside of Gen 10, along with some other updates, specifically at least some more stuff outside of the release date of Pokemon Champions. However, there were still good things. Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, something that we already knew was coming to Nintendo Switch Online, is officially coming this March, meaning that it's definitely going to be the next GameCube game being added on NSO. And also along with that, we also got to have the release date of Pokemon Champions, which is a month right after, in April 2026. Now I gotta be honest, right getting into Pokemon Winds and Waves, the first thing I want to talk about with this was I felt the nice appreciation that they gave to the generations prior, showing this art book of showing all the gens prior. You get to see some art on Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and it keeps going from there. But, like I said, Pokemon Winds and Waves during this Pokemon Presents was finally revealed. And now, I feel like in our right to finally talk about it and break it down. After the Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green ports, I made it very clear that the Pokemon Company has been making me weary ever since with the way they handled their Switch 1 era of Pokemon games. Well now, it's finally time to see if they prove themselves. To see if they can actually fix Pokemon's current day reputation in terms of video games. And to finally see if we have a promising future ahead of this with this franchise. I'm a massive Nintendo fan, and Pokemon is part of this fandom. So, I really do hope that this game comes out to be good. Today, we're taking a look at Pokemon Winds and Waves. So you might be exactly wondering how we're going to go about this. Well, mainly this is just going to be a quick video breaking down everything that happened with this trailer. Like I said, it opens up with the art book and a CGI trailer. We also then see that there's new Pikachu costumes specifically for this game, which they'll probably market to no end since it's Pikachu. But then right after that, we finally get into Pokemon Winds and Waves and how it looks. The environments straight up look like an improvement and an upgrade from what we were getting prior. And it also makes a lot of sense when later on it was revealed that this is officially a Switch 2 exclusive. There is no Switch 1 version. If you're going to play Gen 10, you have to have a Switch 2. This is actually a massive net positive, simply because the Nintendo Switch 2 needs more exclusives. And I feel like thankfully, Pokemon will be able to deliver. Especially because, putting this in comparison to Scarlet and Violet, it's obvious which game looks better. You're obviously going to be taking the way Winds and Waves looks based off this one trailer, than probably the amount of hours you spent on Scarlet and Violet. It's not really close. Winds and Waves actually looks good, and I especially love how much the water seems to be a playing factor here. It seems to be one of the main areas for the whole game. Water has always been a thing in Pokemon games, especially when you use a Pokemon that can use Surf to get around. However, it seems like the whole main premise of this is indeed the water and the region surrounding this body of water. I'm gonna be honest, this region kinda looks like it would appeal to me. I really love a lot of what's going on here, especially with the areas themselves. I love that it feels like one big resort sort of. Now, Pokemon has kinda tackled this sort of thing before, but I do love that it's being fully utilized in their own way here in Gen 10. The game just looks really well, I can't lie. It really looks like an upgrade, and it's nice seeing a Pokemon game actually look this pretty. I'm not saying Pokemon has to look like the most insane graphical game in the world, but it definitely needed improvements after Scarlet and Violet. It was clear that the reputation of the series had to be fixed, especially with some of the most bizarre decisions made by the Pokemon Company. But I'm happy to say, it seems like Game Freak has been locking in with some of their games recently. If any of you know, they're actually working on a game partnered with Xbox called Beast of Reincarnation. This game actually looks really good graphically, probably one of the best graphical looking games they've ever made and been a part of. And they're partnered with a bunch of studios to work on this game. Pokemon Winds and Waves actually might be one of the best looking Pokemon games when it releases. Which, by the way, brings me to the next point. Pokemon Winds and Waves is actually releasing in 2027. Yes, Nintendo still has yet to have a holiday game for this year, which makes me really beg the question that is going to need a very deliberate answer. What franchise can possibly fill in the void for the holidays? It's pretty obvious soon we're probably going to get a Nintendo Direct, especially because, well, we need the holiday game. We need to know what they're marketing for the end of this year. The fact that Pokemon is actually releasing next year was very surprising to me. I genuinely believed it was going to be the holiday game of this year, especially with what it seemed like was being said online, especially with the leaks when Winds and Waves was first leaked out in the public. It seemed like it was going to come out as a holiday game. However, we're actually getting this next year. And honestly, I kind of like that. It makes the teams working on this game actually take their time. And in my honest opinion, I think that's for the better. This game has to come out the best way that it possibly can to at least be a pretty good title in the franchise. And boy, it might even become the best game on the Switch and Switch 2 combined, depending if they do this correctly. I'm still leaving stuff up to chance, but this reveal did give me a little optimism of Pokemon's future, especially with the way they might be able to handle this game. Graphically, they already checked the box off. It's a vast improvement of previous Pokemon games. But now, it's really time to boil down and see if the gameplay and the rest of the stuff they're planning to do with this game is going to come to fruition. The other big thing of this reveal was the Gen 10 starters. We have, of course, our Fire type, our Water type, and our Grass type. Straight up, only one of these really appealed to me, and that's Pombon, the Fire type. I'm sorry, but Brout deadass looks like a General Sergeant become bird. And Gekka might appeal to me at some point, but as of right now, I don't really know. The Pokemon will definitely appeal to me at some point, but I have yet to really know how I feel about Gekka. But I think they'll grow on me eventually. But Pombon is for sure looking like my Gen 10 starter for sure in terms of my choice. And to be honest, in terms of looking at other gens and their starters, I don't really know how I personally feel about these starters yet. It could have been a little bit of an improvement, but hey, it is what it is. These are our starters, and we're going to have to deal with it. It makes me quite interested to see how the rest of the Pokemon that are going to be new are going to look in this generation. Especially because at the end of this trailer, we got to see a lot of stuff underwater, making me believe that we are for sure going to be seeing a lot of new water-type Pokemon for sure, as it seems like the main premise of this game. This region probably is going to be huge, but I wonder if they're going to make it as huge as Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet's region was pretty damn huge, and whether you like it or not, it was an attempt at an open-world Pokemon game. Will they also do that for Gen 10? Well, we'll have to wait and see. All I know now is all I can really say for this trailer is that Pokemon Winds and Waves looks promising. And that's all we can really leave it at for right now. Obviously, keep your expectations mended. We still need to see a lot of this game to really justify if it's the Pokemon game that's really going to fix the reputation of this series, that's really going to bring back the series to the right place that it needs to be at. And also, we gotta hope that Pokemon will finally get some games that really cater towards the whole general public. If you liked Scarlet and Violet, it's clear that the game has a mixed reception. Can Winds and Waves be the game that gets positively good reception throughout the general public? I really hope so. But either way, I'm excited for the future of this franchise. This game gave me some optimism. While yes, the Pokemon Presents event itself could have been a little bit better, I'm still ecstatic that we at least got a Pokemon game that actually looks like this. And if this could check the box, I'm positive they're able to check other boxes. Which is why I'm actually pleased that this game is coming out next year. 2026, of course, for Nintendo, we'll have to see what they plan. They still need to have something for the holidays. But we'll see with Nintendo. Of course, more stuff of Nintendo will be coming on this channel. The next video I do plan to do will be on Resident Evil 9 Requiem, as I feel like that's a game that must be discussed in some fashion on this channel. But after that, we're probably going to be doing a Fast Nintendo video again, just because I think it would make a lot of sense with now us needing a holiday game to really fill in that void. All I know, if you're a person that has been wanting a revival for Pokemon within you, boy, I do think that Pokemon Winds and Waves is giving me optimism. And I know, it sounds like they got me, but I'm being honest. I think Pokemon Winds and Waves might be the game that really sets the standard for the future of this franchise.